Imagine this. You've been dating a woman for a few weeks, maybe a few months, and everything seems to be going well. Then, suddenly, things start to change. She starts calling and texting all the time, showing up unannounced at your house, making random visits to your workplace, and insisting on spending every available moment together. You're now faced with a dilemma. How do you handle a woman who's turning into a stage 5 clinger without damaging the relationship? And let's face it, no man wants to be involved in a situation where he feels trapped or overwhelmed by a woman's constant demands for attention. The term stage 5 clinger might sound a bit harsh, but if you find yourself dealing with this type of woman, it's something you need to address before it becomes a real problem. The truth is, many women struggle with clinginess or possessiveness, especially in the early stages of a relationship. This isn't just a case of harmless, dew-eyed affection, it's a sign that something deeper is happening. So how can you, as men, recognize the signs of a clingy woman without making her feel unloved or undervalued? How do you set clear boundaries while still maintaining a healthy relationship? But first, you need to know the warning signs of a clingy woman. For many men, the thought of their girlfriend being overly affectionate or constantly wanting to spend time together can be flattering at first. She must really care about me, you might think. But clinginess isn't just about showing affection. It's about crossing boundaries and exhibiting possessive behaviors. These behaviors can include wanting to know your every move, constantly checking your phone, questioning your social circle, or even attempting to dictate how much time you spend with friends, family, or alone. The initial signs of clinginess might seem harmless, almost charming, but over time, these behaviors can start to feel oppressive and exhausting. It's important to recognize when the line between affection and possessiveness is being crossed. Imagine you receive a text message at midnight just to see what you're up to, even though she knows you work long hours. Or maybe she insists on spending every weekend at your place, cutting into your time for hobbies, friends, or family gatherings. At first, you might find this attention flattering, but as the frequency increases, you'll begin to feel suffocated. Set boundaries right from the start. Let her know what your expectations and limits are regarding communication, time spent together, and how often she should be checking in. It's okay to be direct about what you need, and it's essential to communicate openly. Remember, a clingy woman isn't necessarily a bad person. She just may be struggling with her own issues of insecurity or anxiety. But you don't have to let those issues interfere with your own peace of mind. So, what makes a woman clingy? You might be surprised to learn that the clinginess you're experiencing might be a reflection of deeper psychological issues. Women who feel insecure or have trust issues may turn to clingy behaviors as a way to feel secure in a relationship. They want constant reassurance, attention, and validation to help them cope with their fears of being left alone. If you're dealing with a clingy woman, it's likely because she's worried about losing you, or she's unsure of her own value. This behavior often stems from past experiences, such as being neglected, abandoned, or hurt in a previous relationship. Her anxiety and need for constant contact and attention could be a product of these past wounds. She might become upset or anxious if you don't answer a message within a few hours. She might insist on hearing from you at least 3 or 4 times a day, or demand that you check in with her whenever you leave the house. It may even escalate to her wanting to know your location, asking about your friends, or checking your social media activity. Gently, but firmly, help her understand that while it's okay to communicate, she also needs to respect your space. Set reasonable expectations about how often you want to hear from her, and encourage her to focus on her own hobbies or activities. This will help her develop a more balanced sense of independence while still being part of the relationship. Now, how to set boundaries without ruining your relationship. Many men feel uncomfortable or even guilty when it comes to putting boundaries in place with a clingy woman. After all, it's normal to want to show affection and give reassurance, right? But here's the truth. Clinginess often comes from a place of fear or insecurity, and you need to establish boundaries early to protect your own mental and emotional health. If you don't address clingy behaviors right away, they may spiral out of control. Before you know it, you'll be living under her watchful eye, unable to breathe without facing a text or an unexpected visit. For your own sanity, you must strike the right balance between showing love and providing reassurance while also drawing clear lines in the sand. Setting boundaries could involve limiting the amount of time you spend together or establishing some alone time for yourself during the week. When she expresses frustration or disappointment about your new rules, remember that it's crucial to stay calm, be firm, and keep reminding her that these boundaries are for both your benefit. Communicate openly about what your needs and expectations are, and invite her to share her own concerns as well. Aim for a compromise that allows both of you to feel supported and respected. And remember, it's okay for her to spend time without you. She'll still love you, and so will you. Finally, let's talk about handling the jealousy of a clingy woman. Jealousy is a tricky emotion to deal with, especially when it's coming from a partner who's overly attached. Clingy women might become intensely jealous of any interaction you have with other women, even if it's just a casual chat or a work meeting. This behavior can be exhausting, to say the least. If your girlfriend constantly suspects you of cheating or becomes overly suspicious of your friendships, it's important to address this issue head-on. Ignoring the problem will only lead to more conflict and discomfort. She might accuse you of flirting when you're just being polite at a party. Or perhaps she insists on accompanying you everywhere to ensure she's there for you. These situations can be stressful, and they often lead to fights or even resentment. Reassure her that you're committed and that there's no need for her to be constantly worried. Gently ask her to explore the reasons behind her jealousy and to consider seeking professional help if necessary. Remember, communication is key. So, what have we learned? Clingy women aren't necessarily a lost cause, but they do pose challenges. The key is to strike a balance between showing love and support, while also preserving your own sanity and relationship boundaries. Remember, it's perfectly fine to set some ground rules when necessary. The reality is, every relationship involves a degree of emotional investment, but when it tips over into clinginess, it's time to take action. For men, dealing with a clingy girlfriend can be especially challenging, but it's also an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and self-awareness. By setting the right boundaries, you'll be able to enjoy a healthier, more balanced relationship, one where both you and your partner feel valued and respected. If you've found this advice helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And don't hesitate to leave a comment with your own experiences or questions. We're here to support each other.